Welcome back. Leap Enforcer Podcast, episode 13. We just wrapped up week 2, getting ready to go into week 3. I'm a little late to the party on this podcast. I wanted to do it Tuesday, but I've been super busy around my house. But I want to just kind of cover a couple quick things. Week 1, we went 13-3 with my picks. Week 2, we ended up at 14-2. So not bad. Kind of just a quick review of some of the games. Packers dominated Commanders Thursday night. Still, played extremely well on all sides of the ball. Bengals handled the Jags. Burrow's out now. That's going to be a little tough for Cincy, but we'll see if Browning can kind of hold them afloat. But, I mean, Burrow's out for 3 months, so, it just depends, I guess, on, how long they essentially can last in this season. If they can stay afloat and make the playoffs, he should be able to come back for it. Cowboys Giants. Cowboys pulled that one off. It was like a vintage Russ Wilson game. I think he had like 450 and 3 touchdowns or something crazy like that. I know he had a hell of a throw to Neighbors. Neighbors is a dog, man. I mean, that guy, I think he's going to be, he's probably a top 5 receiver, top 10 receiver right now. I think in a couple of years, he's going to be up there with the Jeffersons and the Chase and those guys. Lions handle the Bears just as they should. I figured Detroit would have a bounce back game. Chicago's just bad. Minnesota's bad in our division. Both those teams, I don't really see much happening with those two. But Lions come out, played well. Still feel like they're missing a little bit on both sides of the ball. They're just not, clicking yet. But I think that kind of goes back to no preseason time. Week 1 against the Packers, this was kind of a get-right game for them. They're close, but I still think they have no edge rush. Hutch is looking just a hair off. I think he's not fully recovered yet, in my opinion, based on I've had that same exact surgery, same broken leg a couple years ago. Not easy to come back from. I know he's younger than me, but still not easy to come back from. And then they lost their other edge, rusher, Davenport. I don't know what. I think it was like a shoulder injury or something happened with him. So it'll be interesting to see, how they develop as far as with, Hutch getting back to himself and see if they can develop somebody else on the edge if Davenport, because he's been kind of in and out. But one thing, though, in my opinion, kind of a classless thing, the F. Ben Johnson chance in Detroit. Like, this guy helped Dan Campbell put this entire offense together and all of these plays that has made Goff this quarterback that he is. He's put him in such a position to succeed. And I feel like Ben Johnson did so much for, Lions football. And it's just, I don't know, I felt like it was a little classless with like the F. Ben Johnson. Like, I feel like he's done a ton. And people are like, well, he left. Well, yeah, I mean, that's what happens when you have a good team and a good record. Like, your coordinators start to leave to get their own positions. And you can't blame Ben Johnson or Aaron Glenn. Like, they moved on to kind of run their own show. So I just thought it was kind of classless. I just thought he did a lot for the organization, but that's just my 2 cents on it. Next game, Rams-Titans. Rams handled the Titans. Titans are just not that great. Cam Ward has, he's showing a little bit of promise with some of the plays that he has. But, yeah, Rams handled them easily. Patriots beat up on the Dolphins a little bit. Dolphins are just terrible. They play Buffalo Thursday night. I feel like that game may be over by halftime this Thursday. But Niners handled the Saints. Mac Jones played pretty well. I think he had I want to say it was 280 and I think 3 touchdowns, I believe, something like that. So I mean, he held up the spot while Purdy's out. So Bills Jets. Bills handled the Jets. Jets are just terrible. Kind of surprised me a little bit was the Steelers Seahawks. I had Steelers winning that game. I just thought, vintage Aaron Rodgers. And it's kind of funny to say the issue with Pittsburgh right now is it's actually the defense, which is surprising because you don't normally get that from a Pittsburgh team. But their defense is I feel like it's kind of like the weak spot right now. I mean, they're able to move the ball. Rodgers looks good. They're running the ball well. They've got pass catchers, around, good tight end. So I don't know. It surprised me a little bit. Usually their defense is a little bit better for Pittsburgh, but we'll see what happens. It's early in the season. Ravens dismantled the Browns. That was a landslide. Colts. Danny Dimes looks pretty good this year, man. The Colts team is pretty tough. They got a hell of a defense. and Daniel Jones he's playing extremely well. I think he's kind of a good piece for that team. He comes in, doesn't make mistakes, just moves the ball. He looks good right now. That team looks actually pretty solid. Broncos, a lot of people are high on the Broncos this year, but again, I'm not as high as a lot of people, but we'll see what happens, see if they make the playoffs. I don't think they will, but let's see what happens. Cardinals, Panthers, pretty good game. Cardinals end up winning that game toward the end. They shut that out. It was 27-22, so it was close. Eagles, Chiefs, that game, I'm still putting the Eagles in my power rankings. I'm still having Eagles at 1 because until they're dethroned, until somebody beats them this year, if they show a weakness. I guess the biggest weakness right now is getting A.J. Brown the ball. I don't know what's going on with that, but they win in ugly ways. And, with the Chiefs team, like this Chiefs team, they need to go out and get Tyreek Hill. They need a pass catcher. I know Rashee Rice has got, 6-game suspension. Worthy's hurt. I don't know when he's coming back from the shoulder issue. Hollywood Brown is essentially your number 1 right now. Juju's like your number 2. Kelsey just looks old. He doesn't look like he's nearly, the same player. I wouldn't be surprised if this is his last season. So, but the Eagles I think the Chiefs are kind of starting to fall apart a little bit. Not bad. I still think they'll be okay. I still think they'll make the playoffs. But I don't feel like they're having that dominant postseason run this year. I just don't see it happening. But the Eagles team, man, they win in various ways. They always figure out a way, to pull the game off. Jalen Hurts, I'm not a big Jalen Hurts guy, but, he does what he has to do to win the game. If they got to run the ball, tush push, if he has to make a couple throws, not throwing to A.J. Brown for some reason. I don't understand that, but I don't know. They had that issue last year, and then they won the Super Bowl. Him and A.J. Brown were beefing over something. So, anyways, we'll see what happens with that. I still got the Eagles at 1. I still think they're the best team in football right now. Falcons, Vikings, that was a landslide. McCarthy, I'm not going to get on McCarthy. There was like a stat I heard on the radio. I think it was 35 or 37% of McCarthy's passes are uncatchable, which was like almost double of any other quarterback. I heard it on the radio. I don't remember who said it, but I heard that stat, and I'm like, man, that's kind of wild. I'm a Michigan guy, and I don't trust McCarthy at quarterback. And Minnesota fans, for some reason, they believe in him, which I understand. You guys took an early draft pick on him, so I get it. But I don't have a lot of faith in him. But, let's see. Supposedly he's got a high ankle injury or high ankle sprain or something. He's out like 3 to 4 weeks already coming up. So we'll see what happens. Carson Wentz may come in and take that, that position, that starting position, in my opinion. He may. I still think they should call Cousins. I called that, before the season started. I just think that Cousins should come back to Minnesota, and Minnesota would be. they'd be a hell of a team with Cousins because Cousins knows that offense, and he's a better option than McCarthy and Wentz. But we'll see what happens. Anyways, the Monday night games, Tampa and Houston. Baker Mayfield is literally one of my favorite NFL players. The guy just he balls out. He does everything he can do to win. He's got this it's like a cocky, arrogantness to him, but it's not too much. It's just he knows he's good, but he knows he also wants to win. And it just to see him pour his heart out in that game, and he took a hit, went down. Gardner Johnson was chirping. He jumped right up and got right back in his face. It's just you want to see that out of a quarterback. You don't want a soft, quarterback and somebody that you want them to be intense. You want them to want to win. And I don't know. I just like Baker. I feel like Baker's, finally coming into who he is in Tampa. He's playing really well with them. They got a lot of weapons too. And then Chargers, Raiders. Chargers, I had them as one of my surprise teams this year. They are, Bucks and Chargers were actually two of the teams that I would not be surprised if they made a deep run in the playoffs. And Justin Herbert is playing very well. Kind of surprising because Harbaugh likes to typically come out and run the ball a ton. The first 2 weeks, they got Herbert just slinging it. And does he look good? He honestly is probably, if not the best looking quarterback over the first 2 weeks, that we've seen so far. He's just started off super hot. He's playing extremely well. I don't think he has any turnovers yet. And they're clicking. They got a good run game. They got a hell of a defense. I think they had 2 or 3 interceptions on Geno. So I don't know. It was a hell of a game for the Chargers, but that Bucks Texans game was phenomenal. If you guys didn't see it, like that was a great game. Okay, let's just jump in. This is gonna be quick. I just wanted to kind of touch base before the Thursday night game hits. A couple things have happened in Green Bay. Jaden Reed had the broken collarbone on Thursday night. He ended up having surgery on that, and he also had surgery on his foot. There was a foot injury that he was essentially playing through. He was in a walking boot in the preseason. And I think that, honestly, like this is going to sound bad, but don't take this the wrong way. I think this may have been one of the best things to happen to Green Bay with Jaden Reed just being out for a few weeks. And I don't mean that in a way that I want Jaden Reed to get hurt, because I think Jaden Reed is maybe our best receiver. Hell of an athlete. Like, I love Jaden Reed as a player. But the reason I'm saying this, I feel like this opens up Matthew Golden to start clicking with Jordan Love. Like, Matthew Golden has the highest separation in football. He ranks the highest percentage-wise for separation in the NFL right now. And Love missed one throw he should have threw earlier in the end zone. It got batted down. The second one was a bomb from like inside our own end zone. And it was a bomb out to like the 50, and he just missed him by like, I think it was like one stride. Like, I think he was like a foot off. But I think that getting Matthew Golden kind of, get some chemistry with Jordan Love and make him that go-to receiver over the next few weeks. And also, I think it's going to help his confidence so much so that, the next few weeks of our schedule it's not that difficult. Like, are there games that we should win them all, but are there trap games? Absolutely. I mean, you got Cleveland this weekend, really good defense, one of the best defenses in the league. They just can't move the ball a ton on offense. And then, we end up with Dallas in week 4. Then we got a bye week in week 5. I think we come back. I think it's, I want to say it's Arizona. I'm sorry. It's Cincinnati and then Arizona and then the Steelers, I believe is how it goes. So, I mean, we got all winnable games. And I think this would be a very good stretch to get Matthew Golden involved and get some confidence in him. Because I feel like right now he's kind of lost a little bit of that swagger on the field. Like, week 2, I don't know. He's got this little bit of swag to him, and I just felt like after week 1, it was like, all right, I'll do all right next, do better next game. And then week 2 happened, and it wasn't the result I think he wanted. So I think in an aspect of Reed being out and the foot injury, now it's not going to be lingering. He had the surgery. He's going to be able to come back fully healthy from both collarbone and foot. I think they said 6 to 8 weeks, which is perfect. I think Christian Watson may come back a little bit before that. I think he's eligible to come back in week 5, which is our bye week, so it'd actually be week 6. So getting Watson involved and then getting Golden involved and then sprinkling Jaden Reed back into the mix, what this offense can do. Because I do feel like the little bit that we're lacking right now is chemistry, just clicking and consistency on offense. I feel like there's times where we'll get up and then we come out and run 3 run plays and it's 3 and out. And then it's like, okay, what happened to our offense? And I just like to be a little bit more aggressive with it. And I think as these wide receivers get more chemistry together with Love and seeing Golden on the field, and I think it's going to be better for us in the long run. And I'm talking about heading in the postseason, end of season, postseason, for a deeper run in the playoffs. The other thing that scared the hell out of me today. Actually, I'm wearing Tucker Kraft shirts right now. Tucker Kraft went out today's practice with a knee injury. It's not the news any of us wanted to see, especially after the week he had last week, having a record day. But from the sounds of it, Schefter said the test came back negative. Just looks like he tweaked something. They may sit him out this week. I probably would to be safe. I mean, I still think we should be able to handle Cleveland pretty well. I also think it'd be a good time to get Musgrave in the mix. So, throw Musgrave in the mix, having Golden in the mix, kind of getting those guys meshing a little bit more. I know Musgrave's played the last 2 games, but I'm just saying, he missed some time last year, and really trying to get him on the same page, I think would be great with Golden. And then we still got Dobbs. We still have Wicks. We still have enough weapons. We still got Josh Jacobs. We still have enough guys on that team that we should be able to go out there and win this game and dominate on defense. I can't see Cleveland scoring that many points with Joe Flacco. I just don't. I wouldn't be surprised to see Dylan Gabriel in the game, maybe even Shador, see what they can do. But we should be able to like handle that that Cleveland team this weekend, pretty handedly. The other thing I had on here is Aaron Banks and Zach Tom. I know they were both out last week. Looks like Aaron Banks, from the sounds of it, is going to play this weekend. And then it looks like Zach Tom still may be a little iffy, which is fine. I'd rather get these guys healthy. I mean, Cleveland's got a really good defense, but our backups played extremely well this past weekend. So, Jordan Morgan and Kennard and Belton, like they all played solid, and I think we can win with them in Cleveland. So I'm not going to dive into too much more. I'm going to kind of go over all my game picks probably Friday or Saturday. But I got Buffalo big Thursday night tonight actually against Miami. Miami's not good, and I think Tyreek, I think he has a pretty solid night tonight because I think they're going to be throwing the ball because they're going to be playing from behind quite a bit. But I think Josh Allen has a big day. I think James Cook has a big day. I think they start getting Shakir involved a little bit more like he was last season. He's kind of had a slow couple weeks. Keon Coleman looks good for them. I think that, they're a hot team right now. I think they just absolutely blow out Miami tonight. We'll see what happens, though. It might be a trap game. So, but anyways, I appreciate you guys watching this. If you made it this far, leave me a comment. Again, I'm just a guy with an opinion. I enjoy doing this, so that's why I do it. Leave me a comment or, give me a follow. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. But yeah, find me on there. Appreciate you guys. Thanks. Have a good night.